Good evening. Okay, we're going to start this Devo with an audience participation. If you like to read, raise your hand. If you don't like to read, raise your hand. If you're not sure if you don't like to read, give me one of these. We got any of those? Okay. Well, I'm one that does not like to read, and I came across this book through my wife gave it to me to look at. It's called The Energy Bus, and it's by John Gordon. So it took me 3 sittings to sit down and read this. First setting, I read 11 chapters. For a non-reader, that's pretty cool. And I finished up the other remaining chapters up to 34 chapters in the next 2 sessions. Now, the catch is, it was only 157 pages long, the book. So with this book, it really talks about 10 ways to fuel your life, your home life, your team life, your work life, and to bring that positive energy. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that and then kind of tie it up with some verses that I kind of pulled out from what I gleaned from this book. So for all you non-readers, this is a must read. I promise you, it's very straightforward, simple. It's really nice to give you an idea of how to refuel yourself and recharge yourself. And some of you may have already read it. I don't know, but it's a cool thing. It says the first thing is you're the driver of your own bus. So essentially, you have to take care of yourself first and change yourself first. And it lists a criteria of all those things. I want you to read this. I'm not going to give you all the details, but it gives you a lot of criteria how to change your negative attitude, a ton of different things to help you build your character. Then you got to have desire, vision, focus to move your bus in the right direction. So once you start changing yourself, and it could be by studying the Word or just your environment with your work associates, those kind of things, whatever area it may impact you, you take that and then you get your desire, your vision, your focus, and you move that towards that direction. So you have to come up with a plan. Then you have to fuel your ride with positive energy. So you really have to flip your mentality, I guess, if you will, go from whatever you were to changing it to more positive things. I would say being more listening, more focused, kind of like in the Bible where it says, think before we speak, essentially. So we got that in there. Be slow to speak, quick to listen. That's the verse in James. And then also you got to invite people to your bus. So you just can't ride your bus by yourself because you can't do it yourself. You need family, you need your personal family, you need your church family to help you with your energy bus. And if you don't have that, it's going to be very difficult for you to succeed in life. And don't waste your energy on those who don't want to be on your bus. So if you've got people that you're trying to spread the word to or whatever it may be, and they don't want to be a part of that, you got to let God take control of that and just move on and not have them on your bus, because you don't want a lot of negative energy. So number 6, it talks about post a sign that says no energy vampires allowed on your bus. And what that is, it's not like a vampire like Dracula or anything like that. It's more of a thing to keep the negative people off your bus. You don't want a lot of negativity in your life. You don't want a lot of negativity in your workplace. You don't want a lot of negativity in church, right? You don't want that. So if you're trying to build yourself up and build your character, we're trying to have that positive approach to life, have that energy. You got to have that sign. And it's just a mental sign. It's not a visual sign. But if you're in office, you can have that and people will ask you questions. And that could be a nice talking point to understand, what that truly means. Then you've got enthusiasm attracts more passengers and energizes them to ride the bus. CEO. What does Neville always say CEO stands for? Right. Christmas, Easter only, right? That's what you think about when you hear that. Or you think of a CEO from a company, right? A chief executive officer. Well, with this one, you're going to be the CEO. You're the chief energy officer. And it's up to you to use what you've learned from reading this book to bring forth that positive, enthusiastic energy to get more people that want to be around you, right? That's what you have to do. And if you don't do that, if you're just kind of like this, no one really doesn't want to be there. But if you're doing exciting things and you're really motivated and, just it can't be fake though, right? You can't just say, it can't be false. It has to really believe it, and you have to change your heart. It talks about that as opening your heart and breaking down your heart and letting people in to help you along your way. So, like I said, a really great book. Then you need to love your passengers. Not like a physical love, but you have to make time for them. You have to listen to them. You have to recognize them if you're in the workplace for the things that they do. You have to serve them, which is one of the commandments. We need to serve one another. And then bring out the best in them. Look for the things that they're doing great and accentuate those to help them see what they're doing great and what they can excel with. Don't focus on the negatives, focus on the positives. So you want to drive your bus with a purpose, and we've got the GPS, not the global positioning system. Neville, what is it? God's positioning system, right? Yes. So we don't take a leap of fear, we take a leap of faith, right? Because you're not going to take a leap in fear because you want to take a leap in faith that what you're doing is going to be the right thing for your life. And number 10 is have fun and enjoy the ride. 10 simple steps. Now the ride is what? The ride is your life, right? You only live your life one time, and it's up to you to physically change how you're going to live your life. So after reading this, I came up with, just for me personally, 10 things that I'm going to read every single day. 10 verses I'm going to read every single day to help me to be more positive, to be more loving, to be more encouraging in my daily walk. So the first one, and I'm just going to read them to you quickly. We're not going to go into the explanation of them. I'm just going to read them, and you can take what you want. But I think if you read it, you might come up with 10 different Bible verses that might help you along the way. The first one is really deep to me, Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. The second one is Isaiah 41:10. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Deuteronomy 31:6. Be strong and of good courage. Do not fear, nor be afraid of them. For the Lord your God, he is the one that goes with you. He will not leave you nor forsake you. 1 Corinthians 10:13. No temptation has overtaken you except such as common to man. But God is faithful, who will not allow you to be tempted beyond what you're able, but the temptation will also make way of escape, that you may be able to bear it. 2 Corinthians 12:9 and 10. And he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, most gladly I would rather boast in my infirmities, the power of Christ may rest upon me. Therefore I take pleasure in infirmities, in reproaches, in needs, in persecution, in distress, for Christ's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong. Mark 16:15, he says, and go to them, preach the word to every creature. Mark 12:30, and you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind, and with all your strength. This is the first commandment. 1 John chapter 4, verse 8. He who does not love does not know God, because God is love. 2 Thessalonians 3:3. But the Lord is faithful, who will establish you and guard you from the evil one. And the last one, not the least one, Luke 1:37. For with God nothing is impossible. I personally am going to do this every single day before I get up. I'm reading these. I'm trying to get these ingrained into my body and my mind and my spirit, because I'm not always like this. I'm not always diligent. I never have been. I might put on how I am a certain way here at church, a positive attitude, but when I leave this place, I may not always be positive. But with this book, I'm starting to get people on the bus, right? My family's back on the bus. That's a huge thing for me. Like I said, I won't go into all the details, but when you change your attitude and you start following a set of principles that are in the Bible, that maybe is a book that will help you, your life will change. And it's not anybody else in this room to make the change. It's this person right here. So when we're looking at people, I'm looking right at myself and no one else. So you look at yourself and say, what can I do to be more positive? What can I do to be an encouragement to others? And it's a personal choice. I can talk to you all day long, but you know what? It's your choice to make that decision. So, for your reading, your readers, your non-readers, your in-between readers, what's holding you back? Right? If you've got an ailment or a concern, it can't be fear. It can't be fear, because it says right here, God is with you. He's with you always. If you have any kind of concerns or worries, if you don't know what we're talking about and you need to come forward to learn more about that, we've got eldership here. We've got Neville here that can work with you to get you a better understanding of the Word, because in Romans 10:17 it says faith comes by hearing and hearing by the Word of God. We know that. So as we come and sing this invitation song, I really encourage you, if you're struggling with anything, like I was, to find help and to get someone to help you and put you right on the right path. And it's going to start with this Bible here, and then anything you can find that might reach out to you. For the non-readers, that's the book. The book I just told you, The Energy Bus. So please come forward as we stand and sing our invitation song.